So welcome to the project series of Azure Data Engineering here. In this series today we are going to discuss how to create a CI/CD pipeline for Azure Data Factory, that is by using Azure DevOps. And whatever Azure DevOps environment is, that Azure DevOps environment is going to be same for application deployment, the same for Azure Databricks environment, Synapse same for Synapse Analytics. So what is the prerequisite here? In prerequisite section, what I need one subscription. Just create one subscription here. Those who are familiar about these things, they can skip this. So I'll go to the sign in section. I already have a subscription here. This is my first requisite. I need Azure portal access. Then second thing what I need here, this is what I need. So if I go to the Azure subscription part here, your subscription has to be in active state. First requisite. Second one is what we need. If you go to the Azure DevOps organization here, you need to create one organization here. This is Azure DevOps organization you have to create. Just click on this here. It will allow you to create, you can sign in to two. We have two environment here. Either you can go to Enter ID, either you can go to Microsoft account. Either you can go to the Microsoft account, either you can go to the Enter ID here. So it will allow you to access. So I already have created one organization here. If I go to the organization, within organization you will see Azure DevOps environment. So then next thing here is nothing but if you want to switch over to the Microsoft default directory, if you want to switch over to the default directory other than Microsoft account, you can switch over there. Here we have centralized governance. Identity and access management is by default integrated with the default directory. So this is a positive thing to have. So what you can do here, you can click on continue here. But here what we have, so these letters are not case sensitive. It can be in uppercase letter, it can be in a lowercase letter. But I have one problem here. My subscription is invalid for my subscription is free tier, but he is not valid for Enter ID authentication with Azure DevOps. So I am dropping this. So your first requisite has to be, you can connect this by using default directory. It will allow you to connect. Means if you are creating Azure DevOps environment, this Azure DevOps environment we should create from a default directory. But I am using Microsoft account. This one also okay. So means whichever platform you are thinking to use, you can use. This is what my prerequisite is. Second thing is what I need here. Second thing here is nothing but then what I need to go to the service of Azure Data Factory. I'll go to the AWS. I'll go to all services. So what I'll do here, I'll go to the Azure portal login, and within Azure portal login, what I'll do here, I'll search for Azure Data Factory. I'll search for Azure Data Factory. So I just need one factory studio or workspace. So what I'm doing here, I'm creating one. So I need resource group here. I just need one resource group here. I'm writing this is my ADF GRP, Azure Data Factory resource group, and this is my ADF workspace. I'm keeping in East US. So version is V1. Next, integration with Git, that I'm going to do later. Each and everything I'm keeping as it is. So I'll go to the next, review and create. So it will review and create the resources here. It's taking some time. Sometimes this graphical user interface can take time. So what we have basic, he says this name is already taken. So I'm giving one number of 5000. So I'll go to the next. So this name is already taken because this has to be globally unique. From this, I'm not removing any error. So you can understand what can be the error types. So I'm just creating one Azure Data Factory server here. Our Azure DevOps environment is already ready. It will take some time. I'm not creating complicated pipeline. I'm just showing you how you can integrate Azure Data Factory integration, or how you can implement that Azure Data Factory implementation with our Azure DevOps environment. Now here what I need, here I need two server, not one server, because now let's go to the theoretical aspects here. This is going to be important. So what we need to understand from here, what is my requisite here? My requisite is whatever the task I am going to do here, that I will do on a test environment. I will do on a test environment here. Whatever the task I am going to do, I will do on a test environment here. Basically, I have to create two Azure Data Factory workspace. I have to create two ADF workspace here. One will be for test, another one will be for production environment. ADF prod environment here. Why I need ADF production environment here? Why I need this environment ADF production environment here? So whatever the task, whatever the changes I will do in our ADF test environment, and final code changes I will merge into, or final code changes or final integration of our pipeline, data engineering pipeline, I will integrate into the production environment. So I need two server, ADF test, and this will be my ADF production environment. Two environment I need. So for this, what I will do here, I will create two environment here. First one is ready. Then I need one more ADF. For this, what I'll do here, I'll go to the all services. Under this, what I'll do here, I'll go to the Azure Data Factory. I'll go to the Azure Data Factory here. I'll create another server here. So I'll click on create. I'll click on create here. This is my prod GRP for ADF. Production resource group for Azure Data Factory here. This is my prod ADF workspace. So whenever you are taking a name here, name has to be globally unique. I'll click on next here. I am keeping each and everything as it is. So just create one second server. This server will be for production. Whatever I am going to do, I will do. Whatever the work I am going to add, I will add in a test environment. Final code changes I will merge into the ADF prod. So after doing this, what I will do here, I'll create my two server are ready. So now my next thing is nothing but next step process is nothing but I need to create one pipeline. So that pipeline I'm going to create. So this pipeline I'm going to create on a test environment. So whatever the test environment of ADF we created here, I'm going to create the pipeline there. So I'll go to the resource here. So this is a prod GRP. I'm not touching this one as of now. So here we don't have anything here. Of course it will take, if you refresh here, you'll see, we will see it will pop up after some time. Graphical user interface. In graphical user interface we need some patience. So if we search here, so whatever recent used services that will appear here. So this is my ADF workspace. I'll go to this ADF workspace here. Here I will create the pipeline. I will click on launch studio. I will click on launch studio here. What I will do here, I will launch the workspace of ADF Azure Data Factory here. Here in today's session, I'm not creating a pipeline. I'm just showing you one sample pipeline, but in coming session, I'm going to create end-to-end pipeline on this as well. Or whatever the pipeline I showed in last project, the same pipeline you can add here, and that pipeline you can integrate with Azure DevOps environment. That also will work. So what I'm doing here, I'm just doing a new pipeline section here. What I'm doing here, this is my CI and CD pipeline. What I'm doing here, this is my, so I'm adding this as a, what I'm adding this as a CI and CD pipeline. I'm adding this as a CI CD pipeline for Azure DevOps. I'm adding this CI and CD pipeline for Azure DevOps here. So what I'll do here, I'll just add one pipeline task, just a small task, not task, just a small sample pipeline I'm adding here. As I said, if you want to add, you can add that old one as well. I'm defining a variable here. I'll just go to the setting section here. In setting section, before that, I need to define the variable, not parameter. I need to define the variable. I'll go to the new here. I'll define the x, value of x as an integer. So then what I will do here, I'll set up the variable as a x value equal to 2000 here. So this is going to be, let's validate it, right? Let's debug it. Let's debug it. So what is the message here? Message here is nothing but whenever you are going to work, whenever we are going to work on an ADF environment, so we are not going to work on a live environment. As you can see here, whatever I am doing here, this pipeline got executed. So as this pipeline got executed here, we are not going to work on a data factory environment. This is what the message is. So what we are going to do here, so what I'm going to do, whatever I did here, I'm not going to publish this. I'm going to delete or discard the changes. Then what I'm going to do here, I'm going to integrate here. I'm going to integrate this with the Azure DevOps environment. Before integrating this to Azure DevOps environment, what is my requisite? Other requisite here, I need one repository. I'll go to the repository section in Azure DevOps. Then what I can do here, I can click on initialize. Initialize will start the repository with the same name. If you want to create a repository with the same name, you can click on initialize. It will start the repository with the same name. If you want to create another repository, you can go to new repository. Click on a repository here. What you can say here, this is your ADF CI and CD repo. So you can give some name here. This is your this is ADF Azure Data Factory CI and CD repository. So this you can click on OK. You can just add this one here. After adding this, by default it will generate the main branch here. Basically I have two repository. Whichever repository we want to use, we can use. Now after creating a repository here, then what I need to do here, I need to go to the, I can go from here, or otherwise I can go under manage section. Under manage section I can go to the Git configuration. From here Git configuration I can click on configure. He is asking for repository type Azure DevOps Git. We can connect with Azure GitHub also, not Azure GitHub. We can connect with the GitHub also. This is another option. This we are going to do in the coming sessions. If your source code are in a GitHub here, so we can add that into a GitHub as well. So that is what we can do. Enter ID is asking enter ID here. I'll click on continue here. He's looking for DevOps organization, but he's not able to find the DevOps organization here because my default directory type was not a default directory. My account type was not a default directory. So what I have to do, I can use repository link as well. If I want to use the repository link, or I can click on this. So he will not show you here. This will not be shown here, or otherwise what I'll do here, let me use the repository link. What I'll do here, I'll go to the data engineering project repository. I'll go to the clone section. I'll just copy this one here. I'll copy the link here. So DevOps organization name he is not taking, but directly I'm using the repository link. So now he says verify the DevOps account is connected with the Azure Enter ID. So what is the option here? Option is nothing but here what we have here, repository is default directory that your current ADF account is not. See what is the thing here? Thing is nothing but while creating Azure account here, if I go to the DevOps organization here, basically your Azure subscription is not connected with the Enter ID. So what we can do here, I can click on, you can go under Microsoft Enter ID, you can click on connect directory. So here default directory here, it will find out the subscription. So cross check the subscription. 4FF08, last one is 1F. So for this what you have to do, you have to go under Enter ID. So this service falls under Enter ID. Identity and access management will be from Enter ID, not this one. I have to go to the Enter ID. Yes, Microsoft Enter ID. Under Microsoft Enter ID, cross check your subscription. This is your subscription here. This is your tenant ID. This is your tenant ID, not subscription. This is your tenant ID. So what we can do here, we can go into this section here. We can click on connect. What we did, connection is successful. Like this also you can do. If you are not able to connect through this, your organization ETL is successfully connected to this, right? So what we can do here, I can click on sign out if I want, if I'm willing to. So right, you are signed out of the account. Basically we are connected here. So what this is, I have to sign in from. So I'm just trying to sign in from my account here. Subscription, click on yes. This is very important. If you doesn't know this, you will have RBAC issue, role based access control issue in the future. So now what he says here, each and everything is connected. So it's configuring each and everything for me. Now other than using Microsoft account, we will use Enter ID authentication. So yes, stay sign in please. Yes, this is okay. Okay, so it's okay now. So each and everything is working perfectly here. So then what I can do here, I can click on cancel section here. After clicking on cancel section, what I can do here, I can go to the Microsoft Enter ID again. Not Enter ID, I can go to the organization setting again. Just go to the organization here. I'll go to the ETL ELT. So those who are very familiar into this one here, they can skip this. So what we got here, this is what we got here. Now I'm going to switch to the default directory. Going to the switch to the default directory here. Yes, so by default now he's showing me one organization here, DevOps organization. So by default he's showing me one organization here. I'll go to the same organization here. Now we got each and everything well sorted. So he's by default doing sign out here from this. He's by default doing sign out for this. What I can do here, I have another solution as well. What I can do here. So he's by default doing sign out into this. If I click directly on this, let's try to see. It's directly doing sign out into this. So what I will do here, I have another solution. What I can do here, you can go to the, now after creating here, you can just go to the Azure DevOps. You can go to the Azure DevOps login. From here, if you already have account, you can go to this link, aexdev.azure.com. This is second link which you can use. This is the second link which you can use here. What you can do here, you can click on this one here. After clicking on this one here, okay, so let's close one time. He was asking me to close each and everything here. So what I need to do here now, I need to go to my subscription now. I need to go to the Azure portal login. First, go to the Azure portal login here. After, go to the sign in section here. After going to the sign in section, just click on this. Just click on next. Stay signed in. Yes, continue. So I am into my portal here. This is my Azure Cloud portal. Yes, this is my Azure Cloud portal. If I go to the all services here, I'll see the list of all services. Now what I need to do here, now I need to go to the organization one. I need to go to my organization because we already have organization. Just need to click on Enter ID here. So I'll go to the organization directly. Yes, click on next. Click on OK. Stay signed in. Yes, we got the environment. So like this, So he was taking information from cache here. I am not going to remove this. This is required. So if you people face some problem like this, so you can sort it out this from here. We got one project here. After doing this, what we did here, we got one project. We got two repository here. We created two repository. I am going to use data engineering project repository. I'll go to my subscription here. Under subscription, I'll go to the resource group. Under resource group, we have two workspace here, ADF GRP. Under ADF GRP, we have one resource group here. In this resource group, what we are going to do here, this resource group, we are going to this ADF workspace, we are going to connect with our data engineering repository. Advantage is whenever we are creating some pipeline here, let's take example first. So what we are doing here, I am creating, first of all, I need to connect this. I need to connect this with the Git integration. I'll click on configure now. Now I'll click on Azure DevOps Git. I'll click on enter ID. Click on continue. Now it's showing us, it will show us now. Here organization name we already have, DevOps ETL. Project name we already have now. So now repository name here we are taking data engineering project repository here. Here we have publish, collaboration branch is main, publish branch is ADF publish. So if there is any code changes into our main branch, that I'm going to merge into the, that I'm going to add into the resource branch. So this is what we got here. I'll click on apply. After clicking on apply here, it will connect Azure Data Factory to our Azure DevOps environment. So this is connected here. If I go to this, before this was empty here, now if I refresh here, some files will be created here. Factory 1, in this ADF workspace 5000 JSON 1 will be connected. This is the workspace. If you see here, publish config.json. So this will be created here. So after seeing this, then what we have to do here now, next further, let's create one pipeline. So what I need to do here, I need to go to the pipeline section. I just need to click on new pipeline here. So what I'll do here, this is the pipeline 1. Pipeline 1 is nothing but this is a sample pipeline 1. I am not changing the name. So what I'll do here, I'll set variable. Now if you see here, what is the other noticeable thing here? If you see here, so I am in a main branch. Right now I am in a main branch. Let's talk a little bit about branching. So if you are going to work in Azure Data Factory environment or in data engineering environment, you are never ever going to work on a main branch, because main branch is nothing but it can be main branch or it can be default branch, right? Basically main branch is also called default branch, or it can be main or master. Means whatever the final code changes, different users are going to share or merge. Those final code changes will be merged in a main branch. But we are never ever going to work on a main branch. We are going to work as a user. There can be 100 users, there can be 10 users, there can be 20 users. So users are going to work on a different branch. That different branch is nothing but this different branch is our feature branch. This branch is going to be a feature branch. So user are going to work on a feature branch. Whatever the final code changes, they are going to merge. They will merge into the default branch. That default branch will be main branch. And whatever the final code changes or whatever the changes we need to add for ADF environment, that we will add in a test environment, not in production environment. So this process we have to follow, but this is called publish. So what we are going to do, we are going to publish the code changes from main branch to the test branch here. Here by default we have ADF publish branch. So from ADF publish means whatever the code changes we are going to publish, we will publish from main branch to the ADF publish branch, and ADF publish branch will publish each and everything. We are never ever going to publish directly code changes from a users branch. Here we don't have this permission, and whenever we are going to work, we are going to work on a feature branch. So what is other noticeable thing here? If I go to this branch, so I am in a main branch. So what I am going to do, I am going to work as a user. So I am going to create one feature branch. I am going to create one feature branch. So user are going to work on a feature branch. I'll create a feature branch. So then what I'll do here, I'm going to work on a feature branch. So what I'll do, so whatever pipeline or whatever task I'm going to do in the future, that I will work on a feature branch. What I'll do here, I'll go to the set variable. After going to the set variable here, I'm just defining the variable here. I'll go to the variable section. I'll click on new name. What I'll write the value of x as a just the integer. So what I'll do here, I'll define this integer value as a 100, 200, or I'm writing here 2000. So what we did here, I'll do a validate, I'll do a debug. So whatever the pipeline I created, I will create as a user called a normal user, or I will work in a branch called feature branch. After getting this sorted, so we got this. After getting this sorted, so then what we are going to do here, I want this, now my task is over here. I want this code changes to go to the main branch. For this, I need to save the code changes here. After saving the code changes here, I will switch over to the main branch. Then what I will do here, I'll raise the PR pull request. I'll raise the PR pull request actually. So where I am in a feature branch. So whatever the code changes or pipeline we have in a feature branch. So I'm going to switch over. If I switch over to the main branch, what is another noticeable thing here? Here we don't have that pipeline, the pipeline which we created in our feature branch. So what I'm going to do, I'll go to the create a pull request here. I just need to create the pull request. I'm creating a pull request from feature branch to main branch because code changes or pipeline are in a feature branch. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to raise the PR pull request. So I'll click on continue section, complete section here. I'll delete the feature branch because I no need feature branch. Of course, if this user is going to work in the future, you should not delete the branch. Complete merge. Whatever the code changes we had in our feature branch, those code changes, this pipeline, whatever the pipeline we had here, if I refresh this will be no longer there. So because these code changes are in a main branch now, this pipeline is in a main branch now. So then what I'm going to do next, now after doing this, what I'll do here, now I'll publish, and this I will publish into ADF publish branch now. Feature branch to main branch to ADF publish. Now I'll click on OK. After doing OK here, what we are doing, we are deploying changes into this, publishing this into, and after doing this here, what we will do here publish completed means this is completed here. As soon as we will publish this code changes from main branch to ADF publish branch, it will generate the ARM templates. ARM templates is nothing but built templates. Whenever you are creating a pipeline here, pipeline will by default generate the JSON codes, means logic behind this pipeline are JSONs, JavaScript object notation here. And whenever we are going to whenever we are going to build something from JSON here, so we are going to build the template. Template is nothing but built packages. Built of JSON will be ARM templates. So these ARM templates will be generated after publish. If I go to the my repository here, if I go to the project section here, he says you have some updated code in our ADF publish. What I'll do, I'll click on create pull request. I'll create one pull request here, PR. So now what I will do here, now I will publish all code changes from publish branch to main branch here. I'm just writing a name here, PR. What I'll do here, I'll click on create. Complete, but I will not delete ADF publish. Why I'm not deleting this? I will show this after release. So this is what I need to add here. So final code changes of final build of our project are in one branch called main branch. So if I go here in main branch, we got basically if I go to the factory environment here or ADF linked template here. We got the two template. These two template are required. First one is nothing but ARM template for a factory JSON. Second one is nothing but parameter. So these two I required for a release. These are considered, this is considered as a build. So then what I need to do, I need to create a release for this. I'll go to the pipeline now. Build is ready now. I need to go to the, now I need to create directly, I need to create the release, but release will not be visible to us. What is the reason behind this? What I need to do, I need to go under organization setting. I need to go under organization setting here. After going to the organization setting, I need to go to the setting section. Then after setting section, what I need to do, I need to disable both. Basically, disable is nothing but I am enabling both. I am enabling build of classic build and release pipeline. Classic build pipeline and classic release pipeline. Enable both of them. If I'll go here, if I'll go to the data engineering project here, if I'll go to the pipeline section, if I'll go to the release section, so I will be able to see. If I click on create release, so if I'm able to see the create release section here. So we are creating a release pipeline here. But there is another insider here. If you are creating release pipeline, so what is the logic here? Logic is nothing but we are creating a release pipeline. If you are creating a pipeline here, to run the pipeline, we need agent. So what we need an agent here. There is two type of agent we can use in your Azure DevOps environment. One is Microsoft hosted agent, another one is self-hosted agent. If I says to use Microsoft hosted agent, one will be Microsoft hosted agent, and next one is self-hosted agent. So here we have two type of agent. If we need to use Microsoft hosted agent, we need a parallel jobs. Parallel jobs is nothing but each and everything is maintained by Microsoft. So you have to pay something to the Microsoft. So here we have free minutes of 1800. So you can, Microsoft will give free 1800 minutes to run the pipeline, but you have to apply for those free minutes to run the pipeline. If you are using Microsoft hosted agent, so you can run Microsoft hosted agent pipeline free for 1800 minutes. There is one problem here. So how to apply for Microsoft hosted agent here? For this, what we have to do here, we have to go to apply parallel jobs for Microsoft Azure DevOps. You have to go to the parallel here. You have to apply for this parallel jobs. Drop down here. If you click on submit a request, there is a major issue going on here. What is the major issue going on here? They paused giving this access, giving this parallel jobs up to January 13. So if this they pause this to January 13 means we won't be able to use. So what is the solution? Solution is nothing but either you purchase these parallel jobs, or either what you can do here, you can use another agent. That agent will be your self-hosted agent. So now what we are going to do here, I'm going to use the self-hosted agent, and by using self-hosted agent, I'm going to create a release pipeline here. So for this, what I'm going to do here, if I says this is my release pipeline, if I says here, this is my release ADF pipeline. So I'm going to create the release ADF pipeline here. I'll save the changes here. If I want to check the artifact here, if I check the artifact, but I'll show you this later stage, otherwise it will be repeated twice. So my intention was to show you people error, actually what kind of error you will get if you don't have parallel jobs, but let it keep. Okay, let's show this. So what I'll do here, if I'll go to the main branch here, my code changes are in a main branch, each and everything is perfect. I added an artifact here in release section. If I go to the, here we are releasing pipeline, this is our agent job. Here he is asking me agent. If I'll use this Microsoft hosted agent here, this Microsoft hosted agent need parallel jobs to run. If I click on Ubuntu latest, you can use any agent. There is no restriction of agent. So then what I'll do here, now here if I click on save, what I did here, I saved the configuration. Then what I can do here, I can click on, so what I'm deploying, ARM templates. ARM template deployment I'm doing. I'll click on add. Click on add section here. I'm not changing the name, so you can understand which task, which template I used. So I'll go to the ADF GRP subscription. What I'll do here, service connection, I'm building on a this. If I click on authorize here, it will authorize basically it will authorize you whether you are a valid user to create pipeline on this subscription or not, because we had Entra ID authentication. Because of that reason he is able to authenticate here. Otherwise you have to authenticate in another ways. There are many ways which the way you can authenticate. What will say here, subscription automatically it should pop up. Refresh here, automatically it should come up. A resource group here, now we are not deploying into test environment, we are deploying this into the production environment. So what I'm doing, ADF prod, ADF location. So I need to check the location of the workspace where I created. I'll go to the resource group here. This is my prod. So prod we created in East US. Prod also we created in East US. So what I need to do here, so let me close unnecessary things. So I need to go to the East US. So I'll go to the East US here. Of course, linked template we need. So template we had. So we need to add the template from our built pipeline. So what I'll do here, I'll go to the global parameter here. Here we have linked template. First one, ARM template for JSON one. Click on OK. Second one, we need to define the parameter. If I'll go to the ADF workspace one, parameter is added. Next one here is nothing but we need to override some parameter. Why? Because if I click on this section here, now he's showing me factory environment here. What is showing me? He's showing me factory environment here. This is what I'm not looking for, because he's showing me factory environment equal to this one. But here I'm not going to deploy. I'm not deploying here. So I am deploying this into new environment, new workspace here. This is my workspace name. So this workspace name you have to add. After adding this, just click on OK section. Click on save. As I said, I won't be able to run this pipeline because what I'm doing here, I'm using Microsoft hosted agent. For this I need parallel jobs. So it will give me error here. If I see here agent job here, he says failure occurred during job execution. For this what I have a solution here. Please remember, if you are working on Azure Data, of course in the future I am going to create some project on Azure DevOps as well. For Azure DevOps we need a self-hosted agent. So how to create the self-hosted agent actually? So let's add this task here. So this task I am going to add. So how to create a self-hosted agent, and that agent we need to add here. And after adding that agent, so you are going to run the pipeline, and we are going to run the pipeline on a self-hosted agent now. So we are going to run the pipeline on a self-hosted agent. Now what I'm going to do here, now let's understand end-to-end process to create a self-hosted agent. How to create a self-hosted agent by using Azure. How to create self-hosted agent. So what we are going to do, we are going to create one virtual machine, and that virtual machine I am going to create as a agent. So for this what I need to do here, I need to go to the virtual machine. I just need one server. I just need one virtual machine. I'll go to the virtual machine. I'll just go to the virtual machine here. This virtual machine I'm going to convert as a agent. I just need to click on a virtual machine here. So what this is my agent server. So this is my agent server here. I'll click on agent server. So then what I'll say here. So now we are going to understand end-to-end process of creating self-hosted agent. How to create the self-hosted agent. So to create the self-hosted agent, what we need to do, that agent can be used for Azure DevOps environment. Of course, will you create this for Azure DevOps environment? That can be used for Azure DevOps, plus that can be used for data engineering pipeline, the same agent. What I'll do here, I'll create a virtual machine here. Click on create virtual machine. So click on resource group here, enter the resource group name. So what I'm saying here, this is my agent server. but I'm not keeping in East US because I have a resource quota restriction here. I'm keeping this in Central India. So I'm keeping availability zone as it is. So zone 1, I'm using Ubuntu. So he says we don't have available size in our Central India, so I need to change the region. So I'm going to the Korea Central 1. In Korea Central 1 definitely we will have. So what I'll do here, I'll change the server. I'll change to 4 GB to 16, 4 BCPU to 16.1. Key type is okay. I'll put username as a Azure user. Key is okay. Disk type is also okay. Premium SSD by default. By default it will be premium SSD. Another recommendation here, please don't go too fast, otherwise some API will not be created, some things will not be created here. If some things will not be created here means we will face the difficulty while connecting this. Each and everything is perfect. Just go to the monitor, advanced, tag, review and create. Just create one simple virtual machine. Just created one simple virtual machine here. So then what we have to do at the same time here, at the same time I need to go to my here environment here. What I'll do here, I'll go to the Azure DevOps interface here. I'll go to the project. So self-hosted agent can be created on organization level. It can be created on a project level. We are creating this on a project level. I'll go to this project setting section. I'll see here agent pool. So here we have Azure pipeline default pool, but I'm adding my own pool. So I'll go to the self-hosted pool. I'll say here this is my agent hyphen. I'll write pool. This is my agent pool here. I'll grant the permission, click on OK. Agent pool is nothing but pool of agent or group of agents together. So what I'll do here, I'll click on agent here. I'll click on new agent. It will give me a configuration to create the agent. So meantime what I'll do here, I'll click on create here. It will ask me to create, it will ask me to download private key. That key you have to keep. So it will create the resources. Till then what we got here, we'll get the configuration. We need this configuration here. So we need configuration for Linux. Agent configuration for Linux. We got this here. So this will start as well. The server creation will take some time here. So what we have to do here, either you can download, if you want to download, you can download this into a local environment. If you want to copy the location, we can copy the location here. This is the process of creating agent. You can create one directory with a separate name. Then you can download whatever the downloaded location file are that you can fetch. And this downloaded file will be in the form of zipped format. You have to extract that. Then you have to do a configuration of your agent. Then you need to do a run.sh. Run.sh by default will convert your agent online. This process we are going to do here. But before that, what I need here, I need my server. The server has to be in a running state actually. So I need this server. So let's increase some font size. So you people can see font size clearly here. So if you go to the virtual machine here, under virtual machine here, what you're doing, we are creating one virtual machine. So some resources will be created. Virtual machine is not created. If I see resources here, some resources will be definitely created. This is my agent server. So this is my agent server. So in Azure we have a resource group. In AWS GCP we don't have resource group here. Resource group will help us to group together all your services in one group, in one folder. Can say like a container. This is one container here which will store your services. So it will take some time. Yes, this is created now. Then what I'm going to use one tool called Mobastrum here. So you can just go to the internet here, web here, you can just install here Mobastrum, or you can use PuTTY as well. You can do SSH as well. There is no problem here. The way you want to connect, you can do. I'm using Mobastrum here. I'll click on connect. If you want to use Bastion host also, you can use Bastion host also. What I'm doing here, I'm using public IP here. So I'll go to the Mobastrum here. I'll connect to the Mobastrum here. Those who are beginner here, you have to install this Mobastrum. Just go to the Google here, search from the Google, download Mobastrum, simple process. Session, SSH, what I'll do here, I'll click on remote host. By default username was Azure user. Advanced SSH setting, private key. Attach the downloaded private key here. Click on OK. After clicking on OK, control CTRL plus minus will increase and decrease the font size. Accept. We are converting this virtual machine as a self-hosted agent. So yes, we got this here. Then what I'll do here, sudo apt update. Yeah, spelling error. So what you can do here, so you can just update your server, basically update your packages, software packages. So this is what we have to do here. So we got this here. After doing this, so we have to do this here. Yes, we did this here, clear the screen. So what I have to do here, if I configure my agent here, so I have so many files here, I will be confused which file agent created. So because of that reason, what I have to do here, I have to do mkdir make directory. I'm going to create my directory of my agent. Then I'm going to use end operation here. I'm going to go to the my agent here. End operation, basically if your first operation is successful, then it will execute second one. I'll do this. Then what I'll do here, wget will help you to get the packages from HTTP, HTTPS and file transfer protocol. So from where I need to get, copy this URL, copy this one here, right click and paste. So what I need this software package from official portal of Azure DevOps. If I do a double L here, it will show me one zipped file got downloaded. I'll do a tar-xbzf. I'll extract this file from this package. Of course it will take some time. Yes, we got the file. This is optional here. If you want to remove this rm-rf, if you want to remove this, so it's optional. If you want to remove, if you want to keep, it's your choice. So then next one, what we need to do, we need to do a config.sh. So what I need to do here, I need to do a config.sh /config.sh, because this is a script. To run the script, we need a /. So he's asking, are you agreed with the license agreement? Yes, he's asking me a server URL. This server is going to make changes here. Because of that reason, I have to give the server URL here, and URL name should be up to organization name. So you need to copy till organization name. Don't copy unnecessarily here, otherwise it will give you authentication error. So we have to copy and we have to paste this. Right click and paste. We got this. Then he's asking me authentication type. Please press enter. Authentication type is nothing but he's asking me for a PAT, personal access token. I need to go to the PAT, personal access token. Just add a new token. So just add a new token here. What I say is here, this is my, so we are creating this token for a pipeline actually. So let's write a name of a pipeline token. So what permission you are giving? I am giving full permission. But usually we are going to define the custom permission. Of course, you people should know this. I'm going to give a full access. I'll click on create. Here, copy this. Whenever we are creating a token here, keep this token in either Azure Vault or in some Vault services. So it can be reused multiple times without compromising. So as soon as you will refresh the page here, that token will go out. So enter personal access token here. Just click on connect. Yes, he is asking agent pool here. So he is asking agent pool name. So name was from here. Name was agent pool. If you want to check what is the name here, you need to go to the organization setting. You have to go to the organization setting here. You have to go to the project setting, because we created agent on a project level. I'll go to the agent pool. Under here, what we had? Agent pool name. So agent pool name was agent pool, so I have to write agent pool. This is okay. He is asking here enter the agent name, or by default it will take the agent server. So click on enter. So here what it will do, here it will create one agent. Here it will create one agent here. It will take some time. So now what we have here, this agent I need online because this is offline here. Here I have two ways. I can create, so of course work folder will be created here. So whatever task we are doing, that will be saved within this. Here we have two option here. What two option I have? I can do a run.sh. If I do a /, now let me show you people as we are seeing. So let's see clearly. If I do a run.sh here, basically run.sh will convert this agent online. But these agent services will run in the foreground. If this agent services will run in the foreground here, then what will be the problem here? Now here this became online. My task is over, my agent is online, but what will be the major challenge here? Major challenge will be if your agent is online here. Suppose if you do something in your front end, because your agent services are running in a foreground. If it's running in the foreground here, what I'll do here, I'll just do a sudo apt update. I thought let's update some packages. To update some packages, I just did sudo apt update. So what will be the problem here? Your agent will become offline. So this is not a good practice for large task, for large if you are spending more time on large projects here. This is not a good practice. For this we need a permanent solution. What the solution is, we need to run this agent services in the background. We need to add these services in the background here. For this what we need to do, we need to do a, what we need to do here, sudo svc.sh. So what I need to do here, I need to install, first what I need to do here, I need to install this svc.sh. Where I installed this, I installed this within a systemd, because systemd by default will run processes plus backend services in our Linux environment. So I am running these within the, I installed this within the systemd. So then what I'll do here, if I install means, then what I'll do a start. Yes. So means my agent services are running within systemd. If I'll try to, what I'll do here, positive thing is this agent will be online. So here this is started here. If it's started here, it's showing you online here. Running, of course it will be running after some time. Yes, it's running. But positive thing is agent services are running in the background. So if I do something like sudo apt update, so sudo apt update here, so it will not change your agent configuration, it will stay online. So this is how we create a self-hosted agent and how we convert this online permanently plus temporarily. Temporarily is from run.sh, permanently is from, if I do a run.sh, temporarily from run.sh, permanently from svc.sh, will run the services within our systemd. This is what we got here. After getting these things here, so then what we need to do, we got whatever we was billing for, we got our agent ready. Now what is our next process here? Our next process is nothing but what I need to go. I need to go to my pipeline, the release pipeline which we saved. This is my release pipeline. I'm going to edit this pipeline here. So whatever the release we created here, then I'm going to go to the agent section. I'll go to the job section here. In this I need to change the agent. So I'm going to use the my agent pool. The agent pool we created here. Then this agent pool I'm going to use. Then I'm going to save. And I'm going to create the release. Then I'm going to create the release. I'll click on the create release too. So now this pipeline is running on. My self-hosted agent, the agent we created. Those whose subscription is free, they can consider creating this pipeline. They can consider running their pipeline on self-hosted agent. So we understood how to use both agents, self-hosted agent and a Microsoft hosted agent. It downloaded the artifact here. As it downloaded the artifact here, what did it here? ARM template deployment. So it started the deployment here, as you can see here in our subscription part here. Not in subscription part, basically this is a CLI. in the background what is doing. So we are deploying ARM templates by using self-hosted agent, but we are deploying this into our production server, not in our test environment. So whatever task you want to do here, you will do like this. See. So for your kind information, you people can mention this in your resume as well, because this task looks very simple. The time you will start doing, you will realize here how complicated this is. So we got this here. So then what I'll do here, if I go to the all services here, if I'll go to the all services section here, so if I go to the my resource groups here, if I go to the resource group here, under resource group, what I have this is our product GRP ADF. So this is my ADF server. If I go to the ADF server, that pipeline will appear here. So if I click on launch studio here, the same pipeline will be here from test environment to production environment. This environment we are not going to test. This will be our live environment for end user. And whatever changes you are going to do, I'll do code changes on my workspace environment, basically on my test environment. It will take some time. So if I'll go to the pipeline here, that pipeline is here now. So now this is just a simple pipeline. Any kind of pipeline you can sync together to your production environment like this. Now another learning. Another thing is nothing but we created one pipeline from test to production environment. And I want, so if I'm making some code changes into my test environment, that code changes should automatically trigger and automatically it should go to the production environment. For this, what I need to do, I need to go to the release section. In release section, I need to click on edit release and I need to add the trigger. And this trigger I need to enable on ADF publish branch. This I need to add on a ADF publish branch here. If I add this on a ADF publish branch, means what is the thing here? If I'm making changes into ADF publish branch, then only it will create the release. What is the logic behind this? So why I added ADF publish branch here? Because I don't want to, as soon as there will be a code changes in your main branch, your pipeline will trigger. What will be the disadvantage here? Disadvantage is there are number of user who is going to work on this branch. So 10 user, 20 user, as soon as they are going to merge something, automatically your pipeline is going to trigger and this pipeline will use my agent. Continuously he will use my agent. If continuously you are using agent here, then there will be extra overhead, extra costing for that agent to run. So to avoid this, what I did here, I added this into ADF publish. Only the person who is working on main branch, he is allowed to publish. So that's why I added this into release section. So what I did this here. Now let's add some scenario here. I'll add another activity as well. Let's add a bait activity or delete activity. If you want to add some thing here, he's giving us thing. Don't worry about this. So I got bait time here. Let's add one bait time of. So here what I got a bait activity here, setting section. Let's add a 5 second. So let's save this. It's saved, but if you want to check here, you can do a debug. Here, it will run. So basically set variable will run, bait will run. Basically your pipeline will run. In coming session, I'm going to say complex pipeline. I'm going to create complex pipeline. That complex pipeline I'm going to deploy into the production environment of ADF. Of course, we are going to integrate Databricks as well. In our coming sessions, Fabrics as well. So this is what, if I go to the output section here, we got the set variable. Then of course bait activity, it will wait for 5 seconds, then it will execute. We got this. So now we got this here. Then what I'll do here, I am in a main branch. But as of now, my pipeline will not be triggered. If I go to the release pipeline section here, as of now, my pipeline is not triggered because these changes are only in main branch. But as soon as we will publish this into publish branch, as soon as we will publish this into ADF publish branch, automatically your pipeline will trigger. ADF publish branch will generate again ARM templates, new schema will be added. As soon as changes will be detected, your pipeline will automatically start triggering and it will create the release in our production environment. Here we'll get another changes, whatever the changes we had in our test environment. So it will take some time to execute now. So as soon as you are going to make changes in your ADF publish branch, that's why I didn't delete that. So that's why I kept it that, because whatever the change I'm going to publish, I will publish only from ADF publish branch. It will take some time. If you want to see here, just go here. Yes, we got each and everything. If I refresh here, so if I refresh here, you can see this thing here. It's loading the resources. So my recommendation is, whatever the pipeline I created in session 1 here, that pipeline you can create, and that you can connect with our ADF environment. And what extra thing we understood, how to use self-hosted agent, right? That was because of necessity. Otherwise I would have shown you Microsoft hosted agent. But now in this case, whether you use Microsoft hosted or self-hosted agent, of course you are quite familiar with that. This is what the topic was. Now next, one more project will be coming after 2 days, so wait for that, but please complete this here. I will be very happy if you can execute this. Take care everyone, right? For more content, consider liking and subscribing my channel if you need more information. Thank you for taking time to learn something.